Before the video starts, if you saw the title and clicked because you disagreed, please at least watch through the end before commenting about how you disagree. If you clicked for any other reason, you're welcome to watch until the end and see if it's worth a like or sharing with a friend. All sources used in this video will be in the description. Gender, sex, and sexuality are all different things. I'm making this video because I've realized there's quite a few people who aren't aware of this, and I would like to make an informative video for them. This video is mostly going to be about the differences between gender and sex, since those terms are used almost interchangeably, but we'll define them all now. Gender is defined as either of the two sexes, male and female, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. The term is also used more broadly to denote a range of identities that do not correspond to established ideas of male and female. So this is what you get when you look up gender in Google. Breaking down this definition, it emphasizes that it is not necessarily biological and can encompass identities that do not correspond to male and female. Again, colloquially, you can say male and female, but it's not entirely what the definition is. The popular genders in our current society are men and women. The idea of what a man or a woman is not defined by biology. It is actually defined by society. If you disagree, think about it like this. You've probably met a lot of men and women in your life, right? But how have you determined them to be a man or a woman? You probably didn't do it based on their biological chromosomes or genitalia. I would guess that you likely identified all of the men and women in your life based on how they dress, how they act, and the name they call themselves. Biology does not make the rule that men wear suits to weddings, and there's no gene for that or any of this. This idea is constructed by society and is a gender thing, because gender is actually a social construct. Members of society can choose what genders they want to identify with, whether that be men, women, both, neither, or something else I haven't thought of. Sex is defined as either of the two main categories, male and female, into which humans and most other living things are divided on the basis of their reproductive functions. It also can refer to sexual intercourse, but that's not what this video is about. We can gather from this definition that sex is much more biological compared to gender, since it is based on reproductive functions and abilities. Nowhere in the gender definition is there anything related to reproductive functions. Male and female are sexes, and even though you can call someone a male as a gender, you shouldn't confuse the two, because males have XY chromosomes and females have XX chromosomes, whereas men and women, chromosomes aren't included in that definition. Intersex people are interesting because they have anything other from XX and XY chromosomes, so even sex is not a binary, just like gender. Even if intersex people are considered a statistical outlier, it can't be a binary by definition, because a binary is defined as either one or the other. Sex also includes primary sex characteristics and secondary sex characteristics. I'll briefly explain that primary sex characteristics would be things like your chromosomes or your genitalia, and secondary sex characteristics would be things like body hair, fat distribution, or breast size. Finally, sexuality. This is defined as the capacity for sexual feelings, a person's sexual orientation or preference, and sexual activity. This is basically what someone is attracted to sexually or romantically. People can like people of the same sex, opposite sex, either sex, or not be interested in sex whatsoever. I'll probably make another video explaining in more detail the difference between sexual and romantic attractions, but for now, sex is pretty much what a person is into. and it is a different identifier from people's gender identities, so people should try not to confuse that. This video obviously doesn't cover all of the complexities of sex, gender, and sexuality, but I hope to help someone improve their understanding of these topics, as they're very complex. Also, it's not just me in Oxford, the people that make all the dictionaries, who agree with these definitions and recognize the differences between all of these terms. Some organizations that recognize this are the American Psychological Association, American Medical Association, American Psychoanalytic Association, American Academy of Pediatrics, United Nations, and United Kingdom's National Health Service. These are all great organizations that are well renowned, and they recognize that sex, gender, and sexuality are different things. And there will be links in the description for you to check all this out. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.